as Wu-Tang says, diversify your portfolio, bitches. Because that,
Yes,
right? I mean, you have to. You really have to.
exactly. There's been so many instances with OnlyFans. Like I
Welcome to Cam Girl Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Max Mofro from Australia. Real stories, real strategies for success. And today we have Lucy Banks. Welcome, Lucy Banks.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Oh, fuck yeah. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. This is fucking great. I'm glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
So you were a corporate banker and then you got into OnlyFans. I want to know, like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, wild, right? So
Yeah.
I was in banking for like 10 years. And the role I was in was business banking, which I loved. I loved the dynamics of it. I love working with all these different businesses and helping them grow. But it was so soul sucking. Like the bank just being like, sell more insurance products, do more loans, boom, boom, boom. And I was just like, I actually don't want to do this anymore. And at that stage, I was going through a divorce. I had two really young kids, and I had a friend doing this thing called OnlyFans. Had a chat to her, and I signed up pretty much immediately, and the rest is history. I think from a commercial point of view, I just saw the benefits not only financially but also in terms of like freedom and lifestyle. At that point, I was doing like 60-hour weeks at the bank. I had my kids in daycare, and I'm like, you know what, like no, like I'm not doing that anymore. And I got so much backlash because people were like, what is she doing? She's lost her mind. She has such a good job. I think for everyone to make sense of it, they had to be like, no, she's crazy. But it made perfect sense to me. And yeah, it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made. So they can
Yeah.
all get fucked.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. Definitely. We'll get into that. But I'm curious, like, the mindset on that. Because, like, those are two different, different genres. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yes and
but
no, but there's also a lot of skills that are transferable between the two. So the reason I was so good at my banking job was because it was all about relationships. My clients knew that I had really good ideas. I was very dynamic. Everyone, and because I was quite young, to be in that role. I was the youngest business banker in Australia, back at the time. So people were like, "You got to work with this girl. She's a gun. She's so like energetic." And literally and that's why I was successful. I didn't even finish year 10 math. I should not be a banker. I'm not very good with the numbers. And I'm still not, but I'm very good at relationships, and all of those skills were very transferable to doing OnlyFans.
all right, that makes sense. All right, that definitely makes sense. Yeah, so like you got into OnlyFans and right away, it sounds like right away you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the challenge, and it's nice. Like I like being self-employed. Like the harder I worked, the more I benefit, not some CEO buying his new yacht. So it was nice to be doing something for myself and my family. I liked that.
Right. But with OnlyFans, OnlyFans isn't like, these other sites like Chatterbait, StreamMate, all that bullshit. Like they put you on the front page. OnlyFans is you have to promote yourself. So how how did that
Yeah.
work?
And that's the hardest part of it. There's this huge everyone's like, "Oh, like I'm poor. I'll go join OnlyFans," or "OnlyFans is so easy." And I always say, I'm like, "Go try it. Go try it. Come back and tell me the same thing," because it is such a hard slog. You've really got to hustle for every single follower. Yeah, there's no explore page. There's no way of anyone finding your link unless you are putting it out there. So social media is what I kind of recommend everybody starts on, because it's free, and there is the potential for you to scale very quickly if you do it right. So I grew on social media to a certain point, and then I started doing media. So I did news articles. I tried to find a publicist. No one would work with me. So I learned it myself. And yeah, honestly, that's where most of my success came from in the end. It was the media, not Instagram. I think at my peak, I had like 104,000 followers, which is nothing compared to these girls that have millions. But I was earning more because I was having audiences come in from different areas due to the media exposure I got.
So you didn't exactly focus on OnlyFans. It was like your social media and the media.
Yeah, because what's the point of if I've had the best OnlyFans in the world, who cares if no one can see it? What's the point? So a lot of people get caught up on I need to make all this content, I need to do all these collaborations. Yes, that's important, but you need to be focusing on the things that come before that as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm all about that shit. Like that's where it's at. Like you got to fucking like if you're doing OnlyFans, you got to bring people to your OnlyFans. And how do you do that? And exactly how did you do that? Like
So I think when I started, it was back in 2019. So the game has changed, but I started on Instagram. I grew on there. Then TikTok became a thing when COVID happened. Grew on TikTok. But the thing is, with being a creator in this industry online, is that you're deplatformed constantly. So like every other girl, I've lost TikToks, I've lost Instagrams. Um, and that's where PR comes into it because no matter how many Instagrams I lose, people can Google Lucy Banks and they can find me still. So that PR doesn't go away. So I've got that longevity. Even now you can Google my name and the articles still come up and you can still, follow the breadcrumbs to find. I mean, I'm not a creator anymore, but you can find my social media still. So there's so much power in that. So that's really how I grew. Number one, social media. Then I just wanted to do something different. So then leveraging PR was a game changer for me. There was one week where I think I gained like 20,000 followers on Instagram from one article. And then obviously there's that flow on effect to my OnlyFans. And there's definitely ways inside OnlyFans you can promote by doing like shout out for shout out and things, but you're never going to have that consistency unless you've got an active funnel going.
well with that the PR and everything, like you did that from the very beginning.
Yeah,
Like
I was
like how
I
did you
was the
do like what did
first.
you do? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I've never heard anyone like that's the fucking first place they go. How did you do that? Like what when you say like, getting articles out, like how like what did you do exactly?
Yeah, so I didn't do it like straight away. I was probably maybe 18 months in to my OnlyFans journey. And then I just started writing press releases and Googling journalist email addresses and sending them out. And then I found a software. So I signed up to this software platform that would mass send out pictures for me. I worked with them for about 6 months and they were like, nope, you're gone. Like, we're not promoting OnlyFans. Like, see you later. So that worked for me for a little bit. But during those 6 months, I made really strong connections with the journalists to the point that they were reaching out to me. I had their contact details, so that I just kept riding that wave. And it's the best months I had on OnlyFans was when I was having articles go viral. There was a direct correlation between the two of it. Whereas sometimes on social media, you can go viral, have a TikTok pop off, but it doesn't necessarily convert to subscribers. And everyone's different. I found for me, the conversion was so much stronger with PR.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into million billion media because I want to talk about that because this is all like leading up to million
Yeah,
billion media, definitely.
it's all
Now,
connected.
yeah, hell yeah, man. This is fucking crazy. So like when you say like you started like, with the articles and everything, like what I don't want to sound disrespectful, but like what was special about you or like what did you do that was, to get articles written about you?
So each article was different, but I think I just sort of looked at, okay, you're right, like what's my story? What's special about me? What would people want to read about? What's clickable? So I always push myself as like the OnlyFans mum. And I guess my experience in juggling motherhood and being a well-known online creator. So and that entailed things like I had people calling the police or child protection because I did OnlyFans, which is so weird. I had um, yeah, I had to move because people found out where I lived. And then I guess just about my journey from being like a single mum who was broke to earning all this money by doing content creation, but doing it unapologetically. So I get that was my niche. That was who I was. And then I guess like off that, there was all these other things I did. Like one time I had my car broken into after doing a collaboration. So there was all these, like tools of the trade in my suitcase. And I'm like, someone is going to be very, I don't know, either really excited or really disappointed when they've broken into my car, stolen my suitcase, and there's all these OnlyFans girl things.
Yeah.
But again, so like that was the headline, but it always goes back to this is Lucy Banks, this is her story, this is the OnlyFans mum. Um, so it all has to be very strategic. Like if I put a press release out about something, I don't know, that wasn't relevant to me, no one's going to pick it up. I think a lot of people think that they can just get in the media for no reason, especially these days because it is becoming more and more saturated. Back then, I was the only OnlyFans person in the news, so everything I did got picked up. Whereas now, there's lots of them trying to get into the news. So it's a matter of trying to be like, okay, what's your story, and how are we going to get that across? And sometimes people have great stories, but they just don't land with media. Media's not interested, so it's a bit of trial and error and a bit of pivoting when it comes to PR.
Yeah, I hear that. Definitely. But yeah, at least try. Try something. Because
Yeah.
what year, about what year was that? It was what,
Probably
20?
2020.
Oh, it
Think
was
I started doing.
2020. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Yeah, because then I think because I've read all your shit. Like it was around what, 2023 where you got into some beef with a certain CEO,
Oh
right? Yeah,
yeah.
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 Yeah. That's what I'm talking
That's right.
about.
Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't publicize that, but
All
it's
right, all
okay.
right. We don't have to talk about it. No.
Oh no,
Everyone
no,
could
no,
just
no, no, no,
read
it's
about it.
okay.
You could
It's out there.
because
Yeah.
oh hell yeah. Google Lucy Banks OnlyFans, find out all about it. It's
I'm
hilarious.
like, who even am I to be in this position where I'm like beefing with the CEO? Like,
Oh hell yeah.
who do
That's
I
what
think I am?
yeah, because once I read that shit about you, I was like, oh shit, that shit is fucking hell yeah. Beefing with the CEO of OnlyFans.
uh
Can't
yeah.
beat that. Can't beat that. Now
Who
talk
do I
about
think I am?
PR. I mean, what? How? Like we don't have to talk about it or anything, but the PR just off of that shit. How was that?
Yeah, good. Well, it worked out really well because the whole story was about how I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with OnlyFans. I'm going to go start my own thing. Which obviously people were like, okay, what the fuck is she up to now? What could she possibly do after OnlyFans? And then I had a lot of interest around my new business, Million Billion. So I was able to start that with such a good boost because I had that media exposure again. Um, yeah, I don't think OnlyFans would ever have me back if I wanted to join after I did that. But yeah, it was great exposure for Million Billion for my new venture.
Yeah, yeah, obviously you don't want to talk about the that whole beef or anything, right?
Oh no, I'm happy to talk about it.
Oh, good. Then talk about it. Yeah, because
You're like,
like
yes, get
so,
into the juicy
yeah,
part.
because that's yeah, because once I started reading that shit, I was reading all the fucking articles. I was like, oh, this is fucking like that's the greatest promotion you can fucking get. Beefing with the
Yeah,
CEO of OnlyFans, right? But before that, like you built yourself, like you saying, doing, doing your PR, building your OnlyFans and everything, and you built your OnlyFans to a really fucking high level.
yeah. And it was at that point, like I was probably, at my peak when I just randomly one day, and OnlyFans did this, I know now, to thousands of girls, sent out, I don't know if it was a glitch, but basically it was like, if you get one more infringement, we're removing your profile. And I was like, what? Because I'm a businesswoman. I'm very, very careful. OnlyFans has rules. I abide by them to the T because I don't want to be deplatformed and lose my income. That's stupid. So I sent all these support tickets and I was like, what have I done? please explain it to me so I can make sure I never get any more infringements. Like I'm not risking this. This is my income. Let's tell me what I've done so I'll make sure it never happens again. And they're like, oh, we don't really know, but if your account goes down, just what's the word? Like email us and we'll review it. But I was like, I've got kids, I've got mortgages. Like I can't just risk that. Like if you are going to remove my account, maybe I can appeal it. So I just went back and forth with support, and I was like, no, fuck this. So I messaged the CEO, and I was like, Keely, what is going on? Like, I was like, yeah, you're a mum. You've got kids that have disabilities, and so do I. I really got personal. I was like, I need this income. Like, I'm not trying to do anything wrong. You need to tell me what I'm doing so I can abide by it and do the right thing by you. And still, she was like, yeah, just appeal it if it goes down. Um, I think she said at one stage, she was like, oh, you shouldn't be selling your Snapchat code. And I was like, here's this. I submitted this to OnlyFans before. I said, is this okay? And I was told it's okay. I am that careful. I double check everything I do. Here's the screenshots of OnlyFans telling me it's okay. And she was like, we'll just see what happens. If it goes down, it goes down. Like I'm paraphrasing, but it was like that. And I was like, how can you sit there as a CEO? Like I'm coming to you, like single mum to single mum, and being like, let me do the right thing. And you were just so dismissive. And I thought, like, I've done so much promotion for OnlyFans. I've always done the right thing. I've been around for years and years and years. How can you treat me like this? And I still I haven't done anything wrong. So I just thought, like, you know what? Like, this is the way they treat their creators is so gross. Like, why couldn't they just come back to me and be like, sorry, it's a glitch. We'll keep you. Or you did this wrong. Don't do it again. And I would have been like, cool. Like, why am I being sent into all this panic? And it just became very clear to me that this is not a reliable source of income. Which is, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation about how, like, I'm very passionate now about helping OnlyFans creators diversify their income and being like, okay, you're on OnlyFans, that's great. Let's leverage that to bring you in something else. But at that stage, I did sort of have all my eggs in one basket. So yeah, I just threw the towel in and was like, no, I'm not making you any more money. I'm going to go do something for myself.
As Wu-Tang says, diversify your portfolio, bitches. Because that,
Yes,
right? I mean, you have to. You really have to.
exactly. There's been so many instances with OnlyFans. Like I wasn't the only one who received that message about like one more infringement and you're down. There's thousands, but nobody got taken down. So I'm like, why cause all this mass panic? And then there was the instance in what was it, 2020, I believe, where they said no more adult content, and then reversed the content after the decision after 48 hours. There was girls that were suicidal. I knew girls that were like pulled out of college because they're like, I'm not going to be able to afford my tuition anymore, and they couldn't get back in. Like it caused so much mass panic. So it just goes to show that their care factor towards their creators is non-existent, especially all their adult creators anyway.
It's fucking crazy. But it's not just with
Yeah.
OnlyFans. And I don't want to fucking get into my shit because I fucking talk about that shit a little too much. But it's the same because it pisses me off with all these platforms like YouTube and shit. Like, you know, I once got 100,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. They fucking terminated me. For 6 years, I was terminated, and I appealed it 6 years later, and I got it back because the times changed, right?
Yeah, I've heard of
But
that happening. But like,
yeah,
why? What's the point of this?
yes. And one, if you don't fucking diversify your shit, you're fucked. I didn't diversify my shit. I was fucked. Two, all these platforms are so fucking like everything's a gray. There's so many gray areas, like with especially what you went through. Like it's such a gray, there's all these gray areas and shit. Nobody's telling you exactly what the fucking rules are. You know what I mean? And you got fucked.
Yeah, and it seems to be that it's different for everybody. They'll take you down without any rhyme or reason. So, like in the wise words of Wu Tang, diversify,
Yes.
diversify. Like, and
Diversify your portfolio,
it's,
bitches.
bitches. And the thing is, with someone like with OnlyFans, and I should have done this. Um, you've got such a concentrated window of attention, more so than other influencers. There's people that will buy anything you sell. So you need to be creating, whether it's merch, whether it's, a completely separate business, whether like, it's social, like you do become an influencer, whatever, you need to be doing it at your peak. So you can sort of capitalize on all those eyes that are looking at you. Don't wait until you're at the end, like I did, and be like, oh, now I need to do something else. Like you need to be doing it while you're at your peak.
But you got to see your peak though. Like, what if like your shit's just building and, you don't even know you're at your peak.
That's very true.
Uh,
That's a good point. So maybe this is a conversation that we need to be having about when you start to gain, any level of traction or any level of notoriety. Okay, start sowing the seeds then, because you don't know how far it's
yes,
going to go,
yes,
right?
yes, exactly. I think that's a great point. Like, once you see you're starting to grow, that's when you diversify your portfolio,
Yeah, yep.
right?
Add
I
something
mean,
else in.
yeah, because that's fucking. I can't even imagine. I mean, that had to be fucking scary, right? Because
Yeah.
did you like at that point, like when you're having those conversations and shit, were you diversified at that point, or was it all your eggs were in OnlyFans?
I did have a Fansly as well, but I never really focused on it. So I knew that I could transfer my audience across, but I can't, if I've got, hypothetically, say I've got 100 subscribers on OnlyFans, maybe I'd get 30 across to Fansly. You're never going to get that full conversion. So
Right.
I'd been building it for years and years and years, so it was full of content, but I never really promoted it. So I was, I guess, in a sense that when I started Million Billion, I was like, right, who's my existing audience? I've got these men who follow me because they think I'm a babe, and then I've got a lot of women that follow me, and a lot of other creators that follow me because they want to, learn from me and do what I've done. So who am I going to appeal to? What are my next steps? Like what audience am I going to leverage? And I really wanted to work with creators. That's my community, that's my network, that's my, if I remove myself from this community, I don't really have any friends left. So I wanted to stay in it. And it was a very obvious transition for me to do Million Billion because I feel like I was the only person that could really step into starting a PR and marketing company in this industry, because I've done it and I've got business experience. And yeah, it was a very obvious transition to me. So even though I didn't really diversify, I did look at what I had and I was like, okay, what makes sense for me next?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like fucking uh with just everything you've been through and like just your mindset, like Million Billion Media is definitely the fucking next step for you,
Yeah, thank you.
So
Yeah.
oh hell yeah, man. I mean shit, like you're like you should be the host of Cam Girl Diaries. Like seriously, like like I should just turn that shit over to you. But yeah,
Yeah.
just I don't want to fuck anything up. So talk about Million Billion Media because I was researching it and everything, and I think I know what it's all about, but you're better
I'll
to
explain it in
explain
my
it.
words.
Yeah, yeah,
So
please.
Million Billion Media is a PR and marketing agency for OnlyFans creators, adult industry, sex tech startups, anyone who is doing something that's, a little bit cheeky, a little bit spicy. It's our job to help you grow and help you make connections, help you make partnerships that are going to propel your business. We do not do OnlyFans management. So if you think, so they say this line is, your OnlyFans, and then you've got OnlyFans managers, or you run your account yourself, you do whatever you want. We do everything above that. So I don't have access to any of my clients' OnlyFans. I'm not interested. There's no need for me to have it. It's our job to build that funnel and get eyes onto, click that link, and it's their job to get the sales from there in whatever capacity that looks like. We do work with other agencies that we can, like OnlyFans agencies that we can recommend, but that's not something that we do. It's everything beforehand. So sometimes that looks like media and news articles, like what I did. Sometimes it looks like getting our clients onto podcasts like this. Sometimes it's we go through and do an audit of their social media, and it's like, okay, you've got to fix this and this and this. There's a lot of different. Sometimes it's like looking at their SEO, depending on what their business is, and being like, okay, are you doing this correctly? There's a lot of different facets, and each client requires something different. So it's really, like, I love it. It's so interesting. It's so dynamic. Everybody's different. Everyone's goals are different. There's some clients we work with who are like, I'm going to be out in a year, make me as much money as possible. There's other people that are like, I'm going to be out in 2 years and then I want to be a painter or something. Okay, so what are we doing now to make sure that you can exit with what you need to go and do what you want? It's, I like to say it's like an A to Z agency, where it's like we can help people that are just starting out. We've got packages available. We're just launching Creator Cash Club today. I don't know when this will go to air, but today it's the 31st of May. That's a membership that you can join for $199. So it's like nothing. And it's a Discord channel, just like packed of information, packed of knowledge, packed of value. And my idea behind it is that those people will grow, and then they'll be million, billion clients. And if they don't, then that's fine. I'll still be able to help them grow. So we've got packages for people right at the beginning. And Creator Cash Club is still very relevant to big creators as well. But then we also have, these PR and podcasts and everything else sort of for like the top creators, because it's, you don't really need PR or marketing unless you're at a stage where you're like, okay, I need to go to the next level. So we do a bit of everything, and it is the best fun, and I love our clients and I love what we do, and it is just very cool seeing people grow and seeing their name in media.
Yeah, links in the description, millionbillionmedia.com.
Yes.
And I have to say, because if you go to YouTube, because I'm all about YouTube, that's my expertise. But you see all these guys, it's always guys that are, they'll tell you how to do OnlyFans. They'll tell you how to grow your fucking, your Cam Girl business and everything.
Yeah.
They have no experience. They don't know nothing about it. And like, if I was gonna spend some money to like fucking, gain experience, and like, my point is, this is what I would want. You know what I mean? From someone that actually knows what they're talking about, has the experience, and actually has a plan. Because like all these because I hate these I want to make a whole fucking series on these fucking YouTubers that do this shit, because they just talk the same bullshit that anyone like that is common
Yeah.
sense, and it pisses me off.
It's all the same, and they've all got these Instagrams, and they're standing in front of their rented private jets and their Rolexes and rah rah rah. And I'm
fucking pisses me off.
I'm like, how is that? If I was a creator and I'm looking at that, I'm just thinking, okay, so you make money off girls. What are you doing for the girls? Like, and I say girls, but I mean creators. Like, it's like you. It's so frustrating, because I mean, and look, there's some agencies that are great. I do work with some men who are fantastic, but the vast majority of them are just there to make money. They don't care about the girls. They don't care about their exit strategies. They don't care about, are they investing? How's their mental health? Like, whereas I've been there, and I approach business with a very like, I guess, like a hybrid energy of like feminine and masculine. I'm very and I'm a mom as well, so I care, and I want them to grow in a sustainable way, in a way that is healthy for them, and what that looks like is different between everybody, and that's why we don't take a cut from their OnlyFans. Like, we work on a retainer, so that is what you pay every month. Some months, there's so much where we work so hard for a client because there's something coming up. I'm not going to charge them extra, because that's what we agreed on. I want to make money for them, not from them, if that makes sense.
Oh, that definitely makes sense. So wait a minute, when you say retainer, what exactly does that mean?
So there's different packages available, and it depends on what your goals are and what part of your journey you're in as to what retainer, what package is suitable for you. But our retainers start at about $4,000 or $5,000 a month. And it's like, right, this is what we're going to be doing for you every single month. So they pay us that every single month. It doesn't matter if we, do end up doing, 150 hours a month for them. It's all included in that retainer, because the thing with PR and marketing, sometimes you have a quiet month, sometimes you'll have a bigger month, and it all kind of balances out. But you always have this team behind you that are trying to propel you every single month. Um, but it works in the sense that, if somebody does, pop off, and we have clients, sometimes it'll be the first month, sometimes it won't be for 6 months. But once you go viral and it goes crazy, you're earning so much more than that retainer. Sometimes PR doesn't work for everybody, but I like that model, in the sense of, if we need to work harder for you, I'm not going to charge you more. Um, and if you do, come into all this income, I love that for you. That's yours, because you're paying us to do a job. You're not paying us based on, your success. We're just here to do our job. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, because like if I was a cam girl, like I would feel like, just hearing what you're saying, I would feel confident. Like, okay, like, based on like all these YouTuber bullshitters, like, I would feel more confident with you. You know what I mean? But like, how
Good.
do you? Yeah, but like, what about like, because there's cam girls that just, I don't know what the right term is, but just don't have it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they don't know nothing about, social media or the business, or just don't have a personality that, that can
Yeah.
do something. Like, how do you work with them?
Okay, that's a really great question, and I'm glad you asked it, because we do come across this. So when we
Oh, I
have someone
bet.
like that who, yeah,
Yeah,
who come to us
right.
and they're
I
like,
mean,
we want to do PR and marketing, and I'm just looking at them and I'm like, there is nothing interesting about you. Like, and that's not a criticism. I don't make the rules. It's just the way it is sometimes.
yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
about, okay,
No disrespect.
no, yeah, exactly. So we need
Yeah.
to have that conversation about, all right, what's your goal? I do want to do camming for a year, 3 years, 5 years. Is this the rest of your life? What do you want to do? Say they're like, oh, I want to do it for 2 years. I want to buy a house. Okay, great. How are we going to reverse engineer that to be able to reach your goals? So we look at what they're doing at the moment. Say they're making $1,000 a month. They would need to be making $5,000 a month. They're still making $1,000 a month. So someone's finding them interesting. There's something happening. So it's about having a look at, okay, you're making $1,000 a month. Where's that coming from? Is that just purely coming from subscriptions, or is it your PPV? Like, what is it about you? Because there's something, and then we double down on that. So that might not be PR. That might be they've got like a small subscriber base, but they're really, really good at getting a lot of money out of those subscribers. Okay, great. So it's about going deeper instead of wider. I am a big believer in everyone has the potential to be successful, but everyone's success is going to look different.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Yeah, so you don't generally, because again, I'm stuck on, like, especially now, like I'm really stuck on like you versus these OnlyFans fuckboys. Because I can't stand that shit that they're trying to fucking, like, they're basically scamming cam girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. I'm not even in the business, but it pisses me off. But like, so what you're saying is you basically, you take like, like whatever it is that you have as a, as a person or cam girl, and try to focus on your positives and make that shit work, basically, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not the same for everybody. If I say, so say if I've got like a creator in front of me and I'm like, okay, you need to go to TikTok lives every single day. That's not going to work for a lot of creators. Some creators are so good at it. They're so good at like conversing and bringing people in. That is great. So
Right,
that is
right.
what they need to be focused on. We're going to do a schedule and we're going to keep them accountable to doing that. There's others who it will not work. And that's okay. That is not a problem. So what does work for them?
Exactly. Yes. Like, isn't that what it should be? That's why I fucking
Yeah,
hell yeah. Yeah,
And I
that's
want
what
it to,
fucking
it needs to be done in a way that the creators or the girls are comfortable, so it's sustainable. Because let's just go back to that example. If I'm telling someone to do TikTok lives every day, but that doesn't come naturally to them, they're not going to do it. Perhaps they're better off having a Reddit strategy so they can do things via text. And maybe that's going to convert better for them. Or maybe they want to be totally hands off, and we need to bring in someone external to do their social media. Like, there's so many options, and it's going to look different for everyone. But it needs to be like, I'm not going to tell someone like, like these guys, they're like, yeah, do this, do this, do this. That's what's going to make you successful. Like, no, if it was going to make everyone successful, everyone would do it. It doesn't work like that.
yes.
Like, I'm telling you,
Yes.
I've seen it. It doesn't work like that. You need to do it. It needs to be more specific.
Yeah, I mean, you could, like, I mean, if you're just, just trying something, just throw everything, just see what fucking works, right? You can do that. But if you really want to fucking like, let's get down to the nitty gritty, like focus on like, and that's why I think Million Billion Media is really fucking like, if you really want to get down to it, this is what you want. You want someone to tell you exactly about you, what works about you, someone from the outside perspective, what works about you. And yeah, I think I mean, that's what you want. I mean, that's what I would want. Like, I want to
Yeah.
know, like, what
So I
is
was thinking,
working. Like, yeah, I would love to fucking, I can't afford you, unfortunately. I'm a broke ass bitch. But I would love to fucking hear, like, like what do you think is working for me and blah, 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 all that
yeah,
shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But so that's why I've created this like creator cash club. So it's like a $199 to enter. And it's about having those conversations. Like, it's a Discord channel and everyone bounces off each other.
yeah, you can't fucking beat that. Fucking feedback is so important.
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, Lucy, I have to go, but I am so fucking like hyped up for this shit. Can we do a part two on this?
Yes, absolutely. We're launching Creator Cash Club today, so I'd love to come back and tell you how that's going, how the people in the community are growing and thriving. And if your community have any questions, let's answer them in another episode.
Absolutely. We're definitely doing a part two. Thank you so much, Lucy. All links are in description. Hit them up. You won't be sorry. So thank you, Lucy. It's been a great fucking
Thank you. I will be back.
absolutely. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us on our social media below. And if you like our content, become a YouTube member or join our Patreon to get special perks like members-only videos and live streams, insider info, our private Discord, and much more. See you fly honeys on the next video.